no. And then I always laugh because that's about the time that Scott was born in Torrance, about the same time, and he was an adopted child. His mother, his real mother and grandmother, came to from Canada, and he was born in Torrance. I said, "You could have been mine." I mean, it was about the same time. It was really eerie. I don't know.
This was, I don't know if you're interested in all this stuff, but it's just kind of fun to have. And get your glasses back on.
Okay.
So this is the Berg side.
Okay.
All right, and it's interesting because you know how they flip names in Scandinavia.
And
in Germany,
oh, yeah.
where
Yeah.
you don't have a last name. You have you're the son of.
And that
right,
village, and they just
right.
carried it.
So they just this was the first generation was in 1690, and he married. The plus is the marriage, so he married this person.
Yeah.
And their child was named Hendrix with an S. That's
Okay.
so that because his first name was Hendrix, so this was Tyche Hendrix.
Added an S.
Right, and that was a female. She married Christian Jurgens, and their child. They had a number of children, but the child in the line was Hendrik Christians with an S. And he married this person, Benton, and they had all these children.
All of those in black there.
All the fours.
Oh, all the fours.
The fours are their children, and one of their children was Ubi
Yeah.
Hendrix, and I don't know how this came, but probably he was living in Bergen, Germany. So it was Ubi Hendrix from Bergen. And that was in 1771, and married this person, Dirks. But the interesting thing was, this is their child, Geralt Uben.
Von Bergen.
So it's Geralt Uben because of Ubi, and then also from Bergen.
So they put Van Bergen.
They put Van Bergen at the end, but this was in 1805. In 1812, Napoleon told all these Scandinavian countries that you can't do this anymore. You all have to have last names.
With Van?
No, you have to have a last name. You can't.
Okay.
You can't.
You can't just-
You can't do this. Naming your son
From the
Yeah,
father
right,
and this valley or
right,
that
because
area.
it's too confusing. You have to have last names.
Okay.
So, and that was in 1812. So when they had a child,
They had,
it went from Van Gerpen or Van Bergen to just, they shortened it to Berg.
Berg. Okay.
So that's where the Berg came from, and then Berg carried through. So this was the sixth generation. This was Ubi Berg, who married this person,
Charity.
and one of their children actually. This I thought was interesting.
Geraldina.
Geraldina
Geraldina.
Berg.
That's where
I
Mom
wonder
got-
if Grandma's name was after, because this would have been her aunt.
Yes. They used to do that a lot. They
Right.
named you after an heir.
Right. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking that was probably what her name was supposed to be, but they Americanized it
By
to
saying Geraldine.
Geraldine instead of Geraldine.
Well, that's interesting.
So anyway, they married, these two married. They had these children, the Sevens, Geraldina, Emmy, Franck, all these people.
And see, now Ubi was picked up, that was a bird. Did
And-
they have
and-
any
and-
Georges?
And this was
Lambert.
this was one of those children.
Ah.
So that was your grandfather, and then he married Anka or Anna, and these were their children, and
Oh.
Dina Berg
That was
married
Mom.
Waldo. Yeah, and then there was the ninth generation was you guys. But the spelling is a little bit screwy because this was taken off of this list here was taken off the census in I think 1910, and I looked at that. I have a copy of that census report, and it's all handwritten. So instead of writing Ubi, they wrote Obo, because the guy was confused, and they wrote Jessie instead of Josephine.
And George and Anna.
And then she was listed as Dina.
Yeah.
That was what the parents told the census
Yeah.
taker, was that this 1-year-old, I think she was 1 year old then. Her name is Dina.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's kind of, it's just interesting to follow the names as they go through.
Yeah, and so you see where they got the names now.
Right.
Same in Christian's family. They were married to.
And this is the same thing. It's just that it gives more information about each of these people. But I just found it interesting to see where they were from, because it lists the town.
Oh, yeah.
And I looked at it with Levon
Yeah.
on the map, and it's right there. You know, when she went out to
Yeah.
visit with Grandma, she was in that area.
And there was the church where they were.
But this little town, this little village, you know, and it's this reformer church, which I guess Levon
Yeah.
was saying that there actually is that same
In Buffalo Center, there's a
church.
Reformed church.
Right, which
Yeah.
I've never heard of that
And it's been,
denomination.
it's over 100 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reformed church, and it's
So
very.
they brought that church with them,
Mhm.
but anyway, it lists everybody, their birth dates, when they were christened,
Mm,
all the kind of
different
about that.
information.
Yeah. So anyway, it's just fun to look at some point.
Oh, wow.
And this was
Oh, the family.
right. So this is your grandfather,
Yeah, see.
and then this is Sievert, who married Melina.
See,
Yeah.
we've left that,
And then-
we call it Amelia more now. You know, they use Amelia too instead
Is that
of
right?
just Melina. Yeah.
Okay. And then on the other side, they actually didn't have much, but I think it's because somebody got mixed up, and they, instead of Hagi, they put a
Instead
K
of
in.
Haugie, they have,
They
yeah.
thought it was a K and not an H,
Yep.
so that's why
That's
there's not much
interesting.
information there, so. But
Yeah.
I thought his side it sort of says where they're from. They're all from the same little village
Mm-hmm.
in Telemark, Norway.
Have you been to Norway?
Actually, we were. When I went over to London
Yeah.
to work for a year, we got over there about 3 weeks before I had to start. So we made arrangements with Volvo, and we bought a car, and we flew into London, drove up to
Up the coast
up
to-
the coast, and took the ferry across to
I took that
Sweden. To
Oh.
whatever the town is, I can't even remember it now, but where the factory is. And we picked up our Volvo at the factory, and we drove from Sweden over to Norway, and then eventually drove through Germany and France and back to London. But we were looking for, I didn't know any of our family, but Debbie had a picture of her grandfather's house in Norway,
Yeah, so she's Norwegian. What's her other heritage?
Swedish.
So Scandinavian.
Yeah. But her grandparents were from Norway,
They were.
so it's closer.
See, Grandma Valda wasn't from Norway. She was born here, I think.
Right. Christy
Yeah.
was born here. Yeah.
But I think that story about that sailboat they came up.
Yeah.
And you know, we in the basement.
And then this is
Yeah,
it's just kind of fun to have.
yeah. Grandpa looked like that, and Grandma looked like that.
She does look like somebody you wouldn't want to really mess with.
They were always stern, very conservative.
Yeah.
Have you got the family picture of the Bergs?
I
That's a
don't.
good-
I saw it.
Oh, you
But-
don't have it?
I don't have it.
Neither do I.
Levon showed me a copy of one. And
Oh,
she,
that's a
and she
good
said
picture.
there's somebody that she knows
That
has
would
the
have the
actual
original.
And I said,
I
I
should
want the original.
I think
'cause
Dolores must.
maybe that's who it was. Somebody.
That's a
And I
beautiful
said,
picture.
I need to have that picture.
It is a beautiful
So
picture.
she was going to work on that, get it for me.
And you know why they had that picture taken?
Because that's great. That's a great picture of Grandma.
Oh, The thing is, Josephine, I heard that she was home and she wanted this family picture and she died then in childbirth. I think she was pregnant on that picture.
Really?
I really think so. It's a beautiful picture.
You know, the one that, the little copy that Levon had, it wasn't very
That
clear.
picture,
And it wasn't.
now that's the only picture, big professional picture they taken. But I remember, I think that Josephine was pregnant and she wanted that picture.
Yeah.
And they had it taken at some place around there. It's an absolutely clear,
Yeah.
beautiful
Yeah,
picture.
no, that's.
I never had it, but I think one of those kids has it.
If I can get that original, then I can make copies that are as good,
I
probably better.
think
And I'll make, then we'll make sure
Dolores
everybody
would
gets
have
copies.
it. Maybe Butch would. Could ask Butchberg. He might have it.
Like I said, Levon was pretty certain that she'd be able to
Okay.
borrow this so that I can.
I
get it.
remember seeing it. I thought it was, Mom and Annie had this long, kind of wavy hair. It was a good picture of everyone, and I'm sure Josephine was responsible. Joe.
We have, actually, the thing that got me started on all this was when Jim and Steve were going through my dad's,
Papers and stuff,
well, no,
photos?
no, through one of his storage places that he
Yeah.
had. It had been ransacked. Somebody had broken in, gone through the walls,
I
and
heard
stole
that.
everything. Okay.
Yeah.
But they had found this picture, and it was a family picture from 1920
Of who?
well, it's my great grandfather
Okay.
and his wife, and their children, which were all adults then,
Yeah.
including my grandfather and my grandmother, and on my grandmother's lap is my father as a baby, I think he was 1 year old, and Kurt with their, the bowl cuts that they had, and June was, probably about 5 or 6 years old, and she had this classic Victorian kind of dress and the big bow, and scowling at the camera. But it's the whole family. It's all the brothers and
You found
sisters, and it was a beauty. It was a professional portrait that had been done in the studio. So it's like what you're talking about. It just absolutely clear crystal. So I ended up making that a big one of that, and we have that on the wall. And Debbie's family had one of her great grandparents.
So this
I
would
have,
be
I have
good.
these two. So I get the Bergs,
Um,
and then I got the one that you gave me, but it doesn't have Grandpa on it. The one that
what one was it?
that one,
That one?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great picture,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have
I don't know.
it doesn't have the last
See, a lot of my
couple
things.
of kids.
No, yeah, it only has 1, 2. There's only 5 kids.
Yeah,
And there's 5 more.
but still, it's
But see, we never took pictures, but they did. But this, another picture I was gonna say, the one is really good. And what else? What's this other picture? I think it's so classic.
anyway. I have these framed. I have them on the wall.
So if you got
So
that.
that got me kind of excited about.
Is this
Because I
mine?
never. That's all yours. Yeah. So I got me excited about sort of seeing who all these family members were that I had no knowledge of.
I have. Do you have Raymond Berg's phone number, I think?
Hmm.
Because, I guess I left my book down. I could ask him and call him and see if he has that family picture.
But like I said, I think
Levon?
Levon will be able to get it.
But one of them would have it.
Yeah.
Now,
Because she had it. I mean, she knew that this person had it, and she was going to ask him if I could borrow it.
Dolores, yeah.
I think it was that
Dolores
person.
and. Well, Mardell is the oldest kid, oldest one in that family. and she lives in Nebraska. But she could have it too. So if Levon doesn't get it from Dolores, I think somebody in that family would have that picture.
Yeah, well, eventually I'll get a copy, or get
I
it.
hope so. It's kind of too bad we don't have, but like I said, we have no picture. We never had a family picture.
Yeah.
Now, Isaac's had a family picture when they were a little older. I think the older kids said we're gonna have a family picture. It's a very good one. I saw it at George's. I'd never seen it before.
Mm.
But it's a real good family picture. But I think the older kids who lived in the cities or something, they got their heads together and said, we better have a family picture. So
We don't have a family picture.
you do too.
No, we don't.
No family picture?
No, we've never had anything done. I mean,
There's a lot
we have
of-
pictures of the girls,
Okay.
but we've never had never, ever,
Of the whole 4 girls and.
other than snapshots, you know.
But your dad took a lot of pictures.
Yeah, we've had a lot.
Hmm?
I said we have a lot of snapshots.
Oh, yeah.
But never a formal.
Never a formal picture?
No.
Huh.
Jody does it every year, I think. Has she sent you any?
Well, did I tell you that Jody?
every Christmas we get the same. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just like, oh,
And a
okay.
letter.
Yeah, but who another picture.
Uh, um, Did I tell you, Jody asked me once, I think she sent me a letter, and with some information about, well, that'd be Norma.
Mhm, yeah.
And so I had it around, never answered. And one day I said, I'm gonna write down what I can. So then I filled in everything I could about the Bergs and the family and stuff. And I said, you know, I know more, I don't know what, but this is what I know is true and stuff, you know. And sent it to her. 'Cause
Yeah, I
she-
know she's actually, they came out and visited in June. I think she's trying to get a lot of stuff together. So eventually, I'll kind of coalesce all
Yeah.
this stuff.
Well, you know, Shirley was doing this. Uncle Eddie was doing it, and he passed away. So Shirley took it on getting the family history, and she passed away.
Mm.
And I don't know of anybody else.
Yeah.
No.
And my interest is not really getting family history. I mean, I don't really care about, you know,
This or
who
that.
all the brothers and sisters and children and.
But
What I am interested in is
The history and the
no,
background.
The pictures.
the pictures?
That is what I'm trying to preserve as much as possible, and then everything else comes with that. You
Yeah.
know, who are these people in the picture? But for me, it's a lot more interesting to look at these pictures than to look at
The
this
writing,
list of
yeah.
who we're related to.
I,
You know.
like I said, quite a few of mine were destroyed, but I don't think they were really old because we didn't have them.
Yeah.
We had some, did we take pictures? Oh, there was one country school one, and I think was mad because they were teasing me about this neighbor boy. And his name was Gerald. That was my cousin, Dad's aunt, and them adopted this kid, those 2 boys. And when Gerald was born, and we went to school, and they said, what did you name the baby? And they named him Geraldine. This kid's name was Gerald. So I wouldn't tell him. Because they always teased. Once they gave him a nickel for kissing in a country school. I remember that, and that was kind of ornery. I didn't like the way I looked or something when I graduated from 8th grade. They used to go to Blue Earth. They'd have graduation. I wouldn't go. I didn't go. I was mad. I wouldn't go. So I was kind of stubborn or something, I guess.
But that's what my interest is the photographs.
photos.
And even if I don't know who they are, it's just you know Edith and Uncle Fred in Seattle.
Yeah,
right?
I met them.
Dad got he was executor of her estate, I think, and in the course of tying all the loose ends, he somehow acquired her. She had an album.
Okay.
And it's all these little pictures like this,
Yeah.
or smaller, You know, that was the size that they took.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And this album, and I got hold of it. Jim found it, and then he sent it to me. And I went through and I enlarged all of those pictures and cleaned them all up. And I made a book out of it. And most of the pictures are people, they're all her friends. You know, this is in the 20s, you know, when
Yeah.
she was running around, and they were, you know, teenagers and 20-year-olds and having fun. And so there's all these goofy pictures of people that I have no idea who they are, but it's just fascinating to look at because of where they were, the way they were dressed,
That
what they
time.
were doing. You know, it's just fun to have.
Have you seen this picture of Shirley and Norma and George and I in that nightclub?
Mm-mm.
I have that picture. We can see. You haven't seen that picture?
No.
Let's see. George and I were about 19, and we went to Minneapolis. And we'd always stay with Shirley in that awful apartment. And
I don't think I ever. Well, this big picture that I told you about the family.
Yeah.
I had never seen that. I don't remember ever seeing any pictures of my parents or anything when
They were younger.
they were younger.
Well, if you don't have that picture, and they took it, and George and I were 19, so we couldn't go in those clubs, but we got, we
You
didn't
snuck
write
in.
we got some some certificates or driver's from someone else, and they wanted us
You
to
got a
look
fake
over.
ID.
That's the word, fake ID.
You got a fake ID.
And so to make us look older, they put hats on us, and they wore hats too. That's when you went into a nightclub, you might have had gloves and a hat.
Mhm.
And of course, we didn't know anything about drinking, but I think we must have bought a drink. But we didn't have a car, so we rode those buses in Minneapolis. They had buses,
Trolleys.
trolleys or something. And that picture is dated because I must have got the picture, must have paid for it. They wouldn't give it to you. And so it's dated and everything. Oh, you should have that picture. Here we sit with these hats on and drinks in front of us, and we're there with fake IDs. And I know we were about 19. I wasn't married, so I had to be about 19. That's a good picture.
Yeah, that would be fun to have.
And I know I've got that
You
picture.
should have brought it with.
I didn't have time to go through everything, but I'm going to write a note about that because you would love that picture. It's the original picture.
I
too.
hate to have it sent through the mail, though.
You what?
I said I hate to have it sent through the mail. Get lost. I don't trust the mail.
Well, you're right. Well, maybe I could put something, send it UPS or something, and have it boxed with something else.
Do that.
You know, because they box everything so carefully. But that picture, I
That would
thought,
be fun to have.
that's a good picture. And I can remember the night going in because I guess I was a little bit afraid that they would stop us
Mhm.
because we all looked pretty young and we were young. That is a great picture. And I'll see if I have any others, but I did lose pictures
Yeah, let's do
that
that.
from that water. There were a lot of pictures I lost.
But I want to put everything together, and like I said, if probably this book that I did actually turned out pretty nice. So if I can do that and get pictures and put it into some kind of book form, then like Chelsea and Amanda can have it, and
Yeah.
Jody and Sherry if they want, and get copies. I
Yeah.
want to get Arlene's scrapbook.
She's got a lot.
She's got a lot of good pictures, and I can put that together, and then I can make a copy of all that for you guys, so that you don't have to pester her about.
You should really talk to her
Yeah.
because she.
Well, I am. It's just
Yeah,
I've had so much.
she has. She's collected a lot of pictures.
Yeah. I was going to do it last fall, but Debbie actually is. Debbie, I told Debbie one time when she was going up to see her sister, I said, if you have some family pictures, bring them
Yeah.
down. see what I can do. And she said, well, we don't have any pictures, and my sister won't let us have them, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I said, well, just ask her, and I figured that she'd come back maybe with,
Yeah.
a small pile of pictures. She came back with 2 big apple boxes of photographs. So I spent all winter
Doing that.
doing those and getting immersed in her family history. I think
Is her sister younger or older?
younger.
And she's
Still
very,
lives. She still lives on